Dating is not dead, technically. I feel like in 2026, the current agenda that I see everybody pushing is that social media killed romance, which I feel like to a certain extent is true. At the same time, I feel like it's our damaged perception of dating that got projected into us that's really the problem. True love and compassion is still out there. But you just have to put yourself in a position to attract the person that matches you by building a life that's high value so that a guy or a girl feels they need to step into it. Because I feel like we've been kind of put into this box where, in terms of dating, that there's so many standards and boxes you need to check to be worthy of having a partner. And I feel like that puts us into a state where we feel like the odds are kind of against us, which I feel like ties back into the agenda aspect. Where I feel like if you go just on a doom scroll, for instance, on TikTok, you'll just find a whole bunch of videos just bashing women, bashing men. Certain things like talking stages, situationships. I also notice how there's a label for just about anything under two people that have interest in each other. But I digress. When it comes to dating now, it's like this picture has been painted that nothing could be truly stable or real, is kind of what it seems like, which is evident. I feel like it is evident. I feel like we've all had talking stages that didn't go anywhere. I feel like we've all had people come into our lives and leave like nothing. And that is what sets the agenda. That's what kind of sets the precedent for that dating is dead. But I feel like if we look back in history and if we just look at our parents and grandparents, I feel like relationships going south is low-key kind of just a part of the game, if you want to call it a game. 'Cause I would say that love is a game. I really would say that. And think about your parents or grandparents. They had to go through so many people until they were able to find the one. Obviously now things have changed and social media plays an aspect, but people like to say that social media made it easier to cheat. I agree that is true because you have the illusion of having a lot of options, but in reality my take is just that the people that were going to cheat were always going to cheat. It doesn't matter if they had social media or not. I think cheaters are just cheaters. That's just their nature. I don't believe that social media came into the equation and it turned everybody fucking evil. I just believe that people might just be promiscuous by their nature. Can that be worked on? Absolutely. Everything can be worked on. But it's this agenda that social media completely shifted everything, and that you can't find your one, that none of us are going to find our person, that I find to be like almost foolish. Because I think it's foolish to believe, especially in the ways that we go out to look for love, that a lot of people actually force a lot of their relationships, if you think about it. A lot of people nowadays, they don't get interested in somebody for real reasons. It's usually just for superficial reasons such as looks or popularity or wanting to even feel like you're superior to others around you because you gained someone of high value, of perceived high value. But I feel like we've all gotten into a situation where we met somebody that is conventionally attractive and is held in high regards to people of our same gender. Then you get to know them and you're like, wow, this person's actually dull. If that makes any sense, not to talk down on anybody, but looks are not everything. I feel like now we're definitely in a climate where looks are kind of being put on the forefront due to people like Clavicular and the Black Pill community. But looks just get you through the door. Obviously, as humans, the first thing that we're going to see is somebody's looks, but looks are not everything. And I feel like we've allowed looks to dominate in dating way more than it ever should have. I'm not saying to not date somebody you don't find attractive. Obviously, date someone that you find attractive, but make sure the person you decide to give your time to is actually worth the hassle. Because I feel like we give our all to people that show us repeatedly time and time again that they're just simply not worth it. And a problem that I feel like we have is that we don't know when to pivot, when it's time to let that person go. Because I see people get in these rabbit holes where they're just stuck in a toxic relationship, or they're in a relationship where they've lost feelings, or they can obviously tell that their partner has lost feelings, and they try to delay the inevitable. And I'm definitely guilty of that. But I feel like delaying the inevitable only creates more distance between you and your soulmate. And I use the term soulmate loosely because I don't believe in a soulmate. I don't believe in the one. I believe that you could be compatible with as many people as you're similar to or you share aspects with in this life. Like, there's so many people in the world. I don't believe that there's just the one. I believe that there's different people that you're compatible with, but you're just compatible with them in different ways. Because how are you supposed to meet the one, for instance, if you've met and been with multiple partners? Like, you've been dating a lot of people, you've gotten to know a lot of people, but each time you thought, damn, I might have done it this time. Damn, this might be the one, but yet those relationships fail. It could be for various reasons those situations fail, but it is through the failure of those relationships that people's mindset of dating gets jaded. And I'm not saying that that's completely invalid, because I was just being sensitive. But all that I'm saying is that hold out hope. Just have hope that if you build yourself up and build a life that's worth stepping into, and you have a high vibration to you, and you are at a high frequency, then you can only attract people at that same frequency, if that makes any sense. In my last video, I lightly touched on the aspects of vibration and frequency. I plan to still go more in full of that, because I feel like vibration and energy is the key to everything. But I feel like specifically on this topic of dating, I feel like because we have this notion that the dating game is just completely cooked, and that everybody's a hoe, or that everybody's going, or that true love is just too complicated, we don't allow room in our hearts to be open and inviting to the good people, the good men, the good women out there that truly want something real. Because we're in such a jaded view of dating, we're only going to continue attracting those people because we truly believe that that's all that it is, which ties back to the concept of that our reality is simply just a reflection of what's inside. So all that I'm asking you, the person watching this, is to keep your heart open. I understand that you might have been through a lot of people that let you down. You may have even hurt people on this journey of trying to find your one. But I think the problem is making it a journey. I think the problem is making love a bigger thing in your life than it has to be. They do say it a lot, which is you have to focus on yourself, but in a way, that is the only truth, because just like if you were to chase a dog, whatever you chase runs away from you. But if you build a nurturing environment, naturally you'll notice that that dog just shows up on their own. You won't have to go running for them. You won't have to go look for them. That dog is just going to be right there with you. And it will be on a day that you won't realize it. It'll be on just a day when it's all right. When you're finally in alignment, that you could actually bring these type of people into your life. And that's all that I'm asking you to do. Just be patient, and that day will come. When that day comes, when that person knocks on your door, and by the time you're opening that door, you'll be ready. So dating is not dead. You just perceive that as dead due to the agenda that's pushed on social media and poor interactions that you've experienced in your life. But dating isn't dead. Trust me, the one for you is out there. And if anything, they might be waiting for you just as bad as you're waiting for them. So hold on to that hope and do it for yourself. But that's it. This is now my second video. I honestly don't really have a direction with this channel besides just like sharing my perspectives and my takes. But I'm not trying to become like a big YouTuber or anything like that. I just simply want to share my insights and knowledge onto people that might need it. I don't care if my videos get 5 views or 1,000 or anything more, anything less. Like, as long as these videos are here, they have the ability to share something that somebody might not have gotten that day and they needed it. So I thank you to everybody that made it this far, and subscribe if you want more content like this, because I will be consistently posting. Thanks for watching.